Answer me this question. If you had spent however many years of your life without considering love or even the other person in a relationship, do you think that you're all of a sudden going to become a considerate or loving person? Hello people, how you doing today? Hope you're having a good Sunday. What I want to talk about today is something that was brought on by two tweets that I saw, and I guess they're related, but they were completely separate. I saw one weeks ago, and I saw the other one sometime this week, and it all ties in with, I guess, my heritage. I am Nigerian. I am Yoruba. So the thing I always see is that Yoruba guys are demons. Great, that's mad. So what I want to talk about is, I saw a guy say that women, and I'm pretty sure it was partly joking and partly serious, but I can't remember the tweet clearly, but it said Yoruba guys are demons for a certain period of time to get it out of their system, and then after they've gotten out of the system, then they settle down, and then they're the best men and they're the best husbands. That's essentially what the tweet said. And I saw another tweet that said a cheating boyfriend is one that will grow up to be an adulterous husband. That's what it said. And those two things, when I read the second one, it just brought the first one back to my memory, and it just initiated my mind to start thinking about it. And then I wrote this, so I'm gonna read it from my phone because like I said, I wrote it. I feel like I got a lot of what I want to say out in this, and if I try to say it from my head, I may mess it up and not pass my message over correctly. And actually, let me read the disclaimer first. The disclaimer is, I understand that humans have a lot of different things to us, or different aspects to us, and being a bad person in one aspect doesn't make you overall bad person. I understand that. So because in this I say you'll see it anyway, just keep that in mind. I read, you don't just wake up as a good person or as the person you want to be. You have to work towards becoming that person. I say this to say, being a bad or selfish person for the excuse of getting it out of your system is, to me, completely stupid. What does being a bad person have to do with being a good person? What spending years of your life as a bad person does is keep you in a prolonged state of selfishness and self-indulgence, which is a state that you don't just wake up and are no longer in. Humans are creatures of habit. Whatever you have always done is what you will always do until you decide to actively work towards changing. And FYI, selfishness and self-indulgence are habits that are not easy to break out of. Think about it. Even in the case of a person that uses the opposite sex for sex or money or whatever people use each other for, you do it for whatever it is that you want, not because it's what is best for either of you. Once you get to the point that you're sick of it and you want something real or something more, you make another decision based solely on yourself to look for something real, a relationship based on love. But answer me this question. If you had spent however many years of your life without considering love or even the other person in a relationship, do you think that you're all of a sudden going to become a considerate or loving person? Of course not. Worse still, when you decide you want to settle down, you don't want a partner that's like you, cold or distant. You want a warm, loving partner that hasn't been scarred, to come and have to cope with and try to mold you into a loving person. The point of this hypothetical situation is to show you that if you indulge yourself for too long, barring the grace of God, you may never break out of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it is impossible to change. I myself have changed. I'm just saying that claiming that you're doing something that you know is bad solely for the aim of getting it out of your system is a cop-out, and simply a way for you to be selfish. And it's actually not a way of getting it out of your system. It's actually, in fact, a way of planting it into your future, because like I said before, what you have always done is what you will always do. If you have always been selfish, you're not just gonna say that, okay, I'm done with this selfish life, let me now start being considerate. It's something that is possible, because it's something that I believe I've done and I'm striving to do every day. But that's the key part that I want you to take. I have to strive to do it every day, because I've been selfish, let me say, for so long. My natural instinct is that, but I have to work towards actively checking myself every time that I'm not indulging myself, overindulging myself, or I'm not being selfish, or I'm not being inconsiderate. Now, I will say it again. You don't just wake up as the person you want to be. It is something you have to work towards becoming. And if you know you want to be a good person, then don't waste years of your life being bad or overindulging yourself. All it does is waste whatever time you have spent being bad, and double your workload once you decide to start being good. Humans are not a canvas or a blank piece of paper that you can just paint over if you make a mistake. We are a complex system molded into our being by our experiences and actions. More importantly, we are creatures of habit. Therefore, once you decide you want to replace a habit, you have to work twice as hard. One effort level to stop doing the old bad habit, which usually is something that you enjoy, and a second effort level to build a new one over it. So please don't let the excuse of, oh, I'm just getting it out of my system, trick you into wasting years of your life. That's essentially what I wanted to say. So that's it. In conclusion, to summarize, saying that you want to do something to get out of your system, it doesn't work. I have tried it. It doesn't work. Like, all it does is put you in a prolonged state of self-indulgence, and then it makes you, and the sad thing is, a lot of people enjoy being in that state. A lot of people enjoy being self-indulgent, and it takes double-digit years of their life. And imagine something, let's say it takes 10 years, something you've done for 10 years. Do you think you're just going to wake up and no longer be that, or you're just going to wake up and just snap out of it? No, you won't. And that's the sad part. I thank God every day, because I tried to be that, but it just didn't agree with my being. Like, I just never felt comfortable being it. So I didn't spend that long being that. But a lot of people spend so long being that by the time they want to change, they don't know how to do it, and then they get married, and then they're the cold and distant husband. They're the husband that's always like, if you have to fight a battle in your body and in your mind every time that you see another attractive woman, and you have to remind yourself that your wife is at home, and that, oh, you want to be loyal, like, that is a fight that you only have to do because you spent so many years of your life indulging that other side, and you know the pleasures that come from that other side. Like, there's something, what is the saying? Ignorance is bliss. If I don't know how that other side feels, trust me, it's easier to stay in my lane, because two things can happen. If I know that other side is bad and painful, then I won't go there. But if I've experienced that other side and it allowed me to indulge certain pleasures, then by the time I'm trying to be on the straight and narrow, that other side will keep tugging at me. So ignorance is bliss in that aspect. So just don't be self-indulgent, and don't ruin my name. You lot are ruining my name. I don't even like. But for me, I believe the only people that are actually, I'm not even gonna get into that, because that would be sending for people. But that's not me. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Please, 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 don't become a self-indulgent person, because it's not something that's easy to break out of, and it's something that essentially it takes the grace of God to break out of. But yeah, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, have a nice Sunday. Mine's recording this before church because I have so much I have to do today. But as usual, peace to pieces. God loves you.